right, sons, everybody. Welcome back to another Dok-Ondar virtual Den of Antiquities adventure.
I'm not sure if you knew this, but Dok-Ondar has a ton of antiquities.
Yeah, so much so that we had to make this two separate videos of the same wall.
But so many fun facts, so much trivia, so much behind-the-scenes knowledge to dive into. I think that's fun. So come with us on this adventure.
Let's go check out some of these axes. The axe to the right is actually an ancient Mandalorian executioner's Vibro axe.
Yeah, this is the weapon of choice of Aplek. That's one of the Knights of Ren.
Oh, that's where I recognize it from.
You can see him use that weapon against Ben Solo in the battle on Exegol at the end of Rise of Skywalker. And the weapon was discarded on Exegol, so I'm guessing this is not the exact same weapon. It's just a weapon like it.
Yeah.
So this axe is equipped with a ultrasonic transmission plate that enhances its cutting power, turning the axe into a Vibro axe. And the blade is made out of Beskar steel, which we know from The Mandalorian is one of the toughest metals in the galaxy. There's some Mandalorian connections. The two axes look pretty similar, and there's actually an interesting story behind that. The axe on the left is a Mandalorian axe, and it's actually seen in Solo, a Star Wars story. You can see it in Dryden Voss's office. It is presented next to a red Old Republic era ancient Mandalorian rally master armor. And the reason why this axe looks so similar to the Knights of Ren axe is apparently because the art departments in Star Wars, when they're making the movies, like they developed this axe and it got used by two productions at the same time, and they didn't realize that both of them were using the same concept. Both of the axes are a little bit different. So this one is actually the one from Solo.
An interesting fact about Dryden Voss was he was actually supposed to be an alien character played by Michael K. Williams, who plays Omar from The Wire. His character was supposed to be half human, half mountain lion. When Lord and Miller were replaced as directors and Ron Howard came in, that idea was out the window, and that same character was actually just played by Paul Bettany, who's like a human.
One of my favorite Easter eggs from that whole scene was in the Lord and Miller version. There was actually going to be something in his collection that was actually interesting. You can see this in the TMZ set photos, which we can't show here for legal reasons, but you can also see it in the Art of Solo book, and it was a taxidermied Ewok in a display case. Would you have been mad?
We don't like that Dryden Voss. He's a bad person. How dare he? And right next to the Mandalorian axe, there's the Sages of Dwartii statues. These are two of the four Sages of Dwartii statues. They are ancient philosophers and lawmakers. On the left is the cloaked and hooded Sistros, who is accused of pandering to the multitude for selfish ends. And on the right, this is Barada, who is known to have encouraged the study of the dark side of the Force.
You see a huge version of the Sistros statue in the Coruscant office of Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. The other statues later appeared in the Star Wars Galaxies MMO video game. Guests can actually purchase replica versions of these statues from Dok-Ondars. I think we featured them in our ridiculous items video. We'll put it above. Did. In a deep dive Easter egg that was featured in the visual dictionaries is Supreme Leader Snoke wore a gold ring that was inscribed with glyphs from the four sages of Dwartii. So this has a legacy that goes all the way into the sequel trilogy.
Say what you will about Snoke, he wore some cool rings.
Has a black kyber crystal and inscribed with the
They should sell replicas of that in Dok-Ondars. I'd totally buy that.
Okay, so right below the sage statues is an object I have not been able to identify. It's this fish that has been mounted kind of like Billy the Bass. Right? I know that there's others of the same fish species that are hanging in Docking Bay 7. When I put the question out on Twitter of what this fish is, a lot of people noticed the similarity to Admiral Akbar. It kind of has like the face of a Mon Calamari.
I can see it.
It's a trap!
Matt Martin from Lucasfilm responded to the tweet, and he thinks it might be something that was created for Solo, a Star Wars story. In one of our last videos, we showed this deleted scene from Solo where they were racing through this fish market They're being chased by those Corellian hounds. And there's fish hanging up everywhere. I was not able to freeze frame and find it.
We watched that scene over and over, and we just couldn't figure out what fish it was.
Future Peter here. I have found it. I was just looking through Solo, A Star Wars Story, the official guide, and over in this section, they actually show the fish. It's available at the docks, at the fish market. It's called the Coppergrins. So that answers that question. That fish is from Solo, A Star Wars Story. Now back to the video.
I love talking about fish, but I think it's time that we head back over to the helmet wall.
Okay, so the next helmet in line there is a B-Wing, which first appeared in Return of the Jedi. It's one of my favorite Star Wars ships, so much so that for Christmas or birthday a few years back, Kitra got me this B-Wing retro set.
It's not actually a retro one, it's just a retro lookalike, but...
I just love the art.
Yeah.
Like, if you can see the art on here, it's just really cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's a cool looking ship. I agree. That's probably one of my favorites too.
And this ship was designed by Joe Johnson and Bill George. So this ship is called a B-Wing because when it's upright, the outline of the upper half and the lower half makes like a B shape to it. And B stands for blade. So it's a blade wing, which was, like, I think, established in one of the animated series. So story-wise, I like the B-Wing because it keeps the command module level with the horizon while the rest of the ship can move around it. And what that means is that the B-Wing pilot that's inside is better able to concentrate on flying and targeting enemy ships. If there was any ship they could add to Galaxy's Edge, I wish they could add a B-Wing. It's too big, though. That's the problem. And, you know, it didn't appear in the new sequel trilogies. Actually, I guess it was in some of the sequel trilogy, but it's very minor.
Do you not remember at the end of Rise of Skywalker when all those ships...
I do.
I should freeze frame that and find it and put it on screen right here.
Good luck finding that.
It was a joke. I'm not doing that. This next helmet, which is on the third row down, is the Fleet Trooper helmet. This helmet can be found in Rogue One and A New Hope. It's the helmet that they're wearing on Princess Leia's ship. Remember when...
Yeah, when Darth Vader invades.
AKA the best part of all of Rogue One, in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing I like about this helmet is it kind of has this, like, thing that goes back. You know, I have no interesting information about the Fleet Trooper helmet.
I mean, the most interesting information is that Darth Vader scene, which you know that I'm putting on screen right now.
Yeah. I love it how he, like, just force chokes people out
So
the ceiling.
good. It's so good.
So on the next row, on the fourth row, the first helmet to the left is interesting because it's an Imperial Scout Trooper helmet. And I actually love the Imperial Scout Troopers. Like, I think they're my favorite stormtroopers. I have some statues of them.
I was going to say, you have multiple statues. You have Christmas ornaments. I knew that they were your favorite.
Yeah, I just love how the helmet kind of goes out in this kind of thing. It has like a, what do you call that? Like a brim, I guess? A brim of a hat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this is actually a particular Scout Trooper helmet because it's painted in a unique way. You might recognize it because Ezra Bridger wore this helmet in Star Wars Rebels. It was painted by Sabine Wren.
You're right.
Ezra, as you probably know if you've seen the show, he had a collection of Imperial helmets. So in Galaxy's Edge, they have the Datapad app, which can be found in the Disney Play app. You can take on missions and go around Galaxy's Edge. One of those missions brings you into contact with a Mandalorian named Cronest. And Cronest contacted Dok-Ondar looking to buy Ezra Bridger's Scout Trooper helmet. And in the exchange, we learn that Ondar confirms that he is in possession of the helmet, and Cronest transfers credits and sends him a shipping address. We believe Cronest is actually Sabine Wren because the image representing Cronest in the datapad matches Sabine Wren's armor, and they share the name with Sabine's homeworld of Cronest.
This is still Ezra's helmet sitting there. He just hasn't shipped it out yet.
Yeah.
Sabine's really got to get, like, if she's trying to be undercover, she's got to really think of a better, like, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious it's Sabine.
This brings us to our final helmet. This has been such a journey, a helmet journey. Right next to Ezra's helmet is a U-Wing helmet from Rogue One.
So U-Wings are a new ship that were introduced in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. They're called U-Wings because, you guessed it, they're shaped like a U. They are used to drop troops into battle and to cover fire for them. And this helmet actually looks to be the helmet of Hef-Tober, who was a lieutenant in the Rebel Alliance. And in Rogue One, he took part in the Battle of Scarif under the call sign of Blue 8, but did not get through the planetary shield over Scarif and instead joined to support Green Squadron in orbit around the planet. And I think you see Hef running into the battle and you see his ship, but I don't think you see him piloting the ship during the battle. I couldn't find it, at least from the footage I looked at. But the interesting thing here is Hef is actually played by Rogue One first assistant director Toby Hefferman, which is why his name is Hef. Hefferman originally donned the costume for some still photography, so for like the visual guides and stuff like that, but he actually was needed for filming and appears in the film itself. So that is the story behind this Ewing helmet.
All right, so enough with these helmets.
So let's get to the final level of this wall, which starts out with this glass box containing
It has a Womp Rat in it. This is a four-legged creature that is native to the planet of Tatooine, and they are considered pests by local moisture farmers.
Yeah, the Tusken Raiders actually use the Womp Rat tusks to decorate their clothing.
Poor little guys.
You might remember that in A New Hope, Luke Skywalker told Wedge that he once used to bullseye Womp Rats with his T-16 back home.
The shaft is ray shielded, so you'll have to use proton torpedoes.
That's impossible, even for a computer.
But it's not impossible. I used to bullseye Womp Rats in my T-16 back home. They're not much bigger than 2 meters.
Luke Skywalker is such a little twerp.
You know, they've been mentioned in Star Wars lore over the years. Mostly mentioned, you rarely see them. You hear them talked about in Star Wars Resistance and in Clone Wars. In the 4th episode in Mandalorian, the Mando calls Baby Yoda a Womp Rat.
You ready to lay low and stretch your legs for a couple of months, you little Womp Rat?
This little dragon-like looking creature is called a Skeeto. It's actually found on Tatooine as well. It is a four-winged, blood-sucking, reptile-like creature that only emerges in the darkness.
Yeah, these creatures were designed for the Phantom Menace and later made it into some of the video games. And it's funny because most fans, and even some people involved in Star Wars, thought that they never actually appeared in the movie. But you can actually see them in the movie, kind of. So if you look at the pod racing scene, when Rats Tyrell crashes, at the very exit of the Laguna Cave, you can see these like little creatures like kind of buzzing around. And those, it's really blurry. It's really hard to see, but those are the Skeetos.
Wow, they're so cool looking. I love them. They really do look like tiny dragons.
So lastly, on the bottom row on the very right, there is this thing that looks like a lamp or an engine.
Yeah,
it's kind of rusting. It has like these 3 yellow cylinders. Maybe those are the light sources. I'm not able to tell you what this is. It looks mechanical in nature. The proximity to all the Rebellion helmets makes me wonder if it's part of one of their ships.
Yeah, it looks like it could be an engine, but I think it kind of just looks like a weird little alien lamp or something.
Yeah, one of our sources tells us that it might have been created by Imagineering in Orlando and is not based on anything in Star Wars lore yet. Not to mean that like they couldn't eventually base something off it. What is notable here is the banner that hangs below it has a version of the Rebel Starbird logo. So the Starbird in Star Wars lore, also called a phoenix, was a legendary creature that was thought to be immortal. Allegedly, when it seemed to be dead, the Starbird was actually renewing itself in the heart of Vanova. Sabine Wren used a stylized Starbird as her personal signature. The red symbol on Saw Gerrera's shoulder and neck armor was combined with Sabine's signature to create the Rebel Alliance logo. So Sabine Wren was responsible for the Rebel Alliance logo as one of the first rebels.
I did not know that until this very moment. That's very cool.
Both Saw and Sabine were obviously early parts of the rebellion. Saw going off in his own radical way. The banner that has a version of the Rebel Starbird logo, a version I've never seen before. At first I thought it might be from the High Republic era. That's what they're doing with the it's a new publishing initiative that takes place in an area of Star Wars that we've never seen before. But it turns out it's actually from Rogue One. And it was also featured prominently on the cast and crew gifts for the people who made Rogue One. So you can see it, on the gear that they wear to brag that they were part of a Star Wars movie. What is that item above it? Is it something that was just created for Disney parks? Does it have some further Star Wars lore? We don't know. Let us know in the comments below, and if we can find something, we'll tell you in a future one of these videos.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, because we hope to keep on doing these videos. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Let's go to comments. The first question involves those drawers that are right outside Savi's workshop. Someone asked us because there's some empty drawers down there.
Ooh.
What would we like to see put into those drawers?
I want to see like a really futuristic looking lightsaber.
Yeah.
I don't know like what that would be called, but just like really cool.
Like high tech.
Yeah, high tech and
like has light up parts on it.
Yeah, like sharp angles, like glowing. Part of it glows. Like it's not just the. I don't know. I don't know what I'm envisioning.
I want to see extra parts and accessories. Like I know some people on Etsy have 3D designed like parts that you can actually open the kyber crystal chamber. You can see it glowing while you're using it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Or what I want is a double blade or a cross guard version.
Ooh, yeah.
Like Kylo Ren.
Good ideas.
Rels asks, what's the internal temperature of a tauntaun? The answer, lukewarm. Such
Good
a bad
one.
joke. Are there attractions at any park that one or both of you would never in your life dare to ride? She doesn't love roller coasters. She doesn't love things that like go upside down.
I don't dislike them. I actually have a lot of fun. They make me sick.
Thus, you don't like them.
Thus, I don't like them.
I have a problem with heights. So
Yeah,
like
you
even
do.
Mickey's Symphony Swings, which I've done before, but I would never do it again. And I think most people would consider that a kiddie ride. So.
Yeah, I have grown to love that ride, and he will never go on it with me. I don't know. I feel like my answer is not going to be exciting, because I just want to say like the teacups or like the Hulk or something at Universal.
Is there? Yeah, I guess probably the Hulk is probably the biggest ride that you probably wouldn't ride.
Yeah,
Right?
probably.
You don't want to see Kitra when she's motion sick. Kind of like you don't want to see the Hulk when he's angry. You don't want to see Kitra when she's motion sick. What is your favorite video game of all time?
Wow, that's hard.
See, I grew up on Nintendo, the original NES.
Uh-huh.
So I liked Mario and I don't know. I feel like I'm so boring in that way.
I used to play a lot on my Sega Genesis this game called Mickey Mouse in the Castle of Illusion. And I had a game genie, which basically like let you cheat.
Yeah.
So like I would put it to the game genie and I would just like play my way through that game, and I played that game probably like 100 times. So let's just say that one.
Reggie has a fun fact. He says the elephant that portrayed the Tuscan Bantha in A New Hope was an elephant from the Marine World USA in Vallejo, California.
Wow, that's right by where I grew up. I used to go there all the time when I was a kid. That's
How
so
is that?
cool. Wow, I probably saw that elephant in real life.
Yeah.
I probably rode it because I used to have like a part of that park.
You could ride elephants?
Yeah. Oh my god, I probably rode it.
Do you have photos?
Because it wasn't just like a zoo where you went to look at the elephants. Like there was like a thing where you got to ride them. I might. I don't know.
You gotta ask your mom.
I know. I totally rode him.
What is your favorite film franchise besides Star Wars? Probably like Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think.
Mine would probably be like Harry Potter.
I mean, Back to the Future is my favorite trilogy of all time.
yeah.
So I guess Back to the Future.
I'm gonna go with Harry Potter.
What is your dream car?
Wow, my dream car. I've been really wanting like a Jeep lately. I don't know if that's my dream car. I like maybe an old car from like the 50s or 60s, but that has like a modern engine, like an old T-Bird or an old like Ford Mustang or something would be really cool.
Yeah. I don't like to drive, so I'm all about the future of driving where it's like self-driving cars. And I also, despite hating Elon Musk and what he's... Shut up on
He
Twitter.
wants a
Elon.
Cybertruck.
Yeah. Well, not a Cybertruck. I probably just want a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of it running electronically. I like how it has that like digital dashboard. I like technology.
Maybe one day.
Or maybe the car from The Simpsons.
There we go.
You know that, like the Homer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like way ahead of its time.
How much Baby Yoda have you ordered?
Not really that much.
Well, you bought a t-shirt. You have another t-shirt. Yeah, we got a lot of gifted Baby Yoda things. I ordered the life-size Baby Yoda on Sideshow. That has not arrived yet. We are rich in Baby Yoda at this point.
You already made that joke in the unboxing video.
I'm making it again. That does it for the comments for today. If you want to see our previous adventures to Dok-Ondars, to look over his Antiquities, we'll put a playlist right over to the side. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next adventure.